In the beginning, there was a broken backhoe.
Hey, look at Janelle, she did it. Hey, pull it over and see if you can back it up closer over on this side. Whatever you think, though. No, just like right over here. If you take the loader off, the whole loader, you have to take it apart right here. And if you take this apart, then and this has to come off, then the backhoe has to come off. So to take the loader off, you have to take the backhoe off. Both sides, same way. So it looks like to pull this motor would be best to just take the front end out from under it. The front end. And all of this, that's hooked right there to the motor. So you pick it up here. The motor will probably stay because it's hooked to the torque tube. And now you take those 4 bolts off on this side, those 4, and these 4, and then take this loose in the front, the pump off. Pump off, and then the whole thing will come off. This thing right here will come off. I'd like to give a shout out to Ken. He was a lot of help in changing this motor. I don't know if I'd have been able to do it without him. He had a lot of good equipment and knew how to operate it. Let's see if I can get this right. The throwout bearing needs to go in backwards than what normally goes in. Normally, the throwout bearing does not spin on the shaft. Just the bearing part spins when it hits the pressure plate. But this one is backwards because it's on a live center, so it's spinning all the time. The throwout bearing is spinning all the time. And when the fork hits the throwout bearing, it needs to have the spinning part facing the fork so it doesn't spin on the fork. When the fork hits it, that part stops spinning, and the rest of it, the housing and everything, spins all the time. It's really a weird setup. Foot shaft and that other shaft are spinning all the time. One of them's locked into the pressure plate, and one of them's locked into the clutch disc. So whenever the motor starts running, the shaft, both those shafts are spinning all the time. That's the pump, and those are the springs that's supposed to push the throwout bearing. Those springs were inside the seal here. They broke off, jumped over that. I think they put it on backwards. Okay, all cleaned up and ready to go. Got to put the pump back in, even though it doesn't do nothing. It holds the bearing.
Yep.
The pump is not hooked to anything. All it has is a shaft here for the throwout bearing to ride on.